Alright, so I got the head done, all put back together, lapped all the valves, put all the springs back in, made sure they sealed good, and you know how the B16s are normally, you got a stud here on this end and a stud here on this end, and the rest are just bolts. I don't like that, and when I was chasing my threads, I found a couple of them where I had some threads just come out, so I drilled them out, tapped them, helicoiled them, and put studs in. Worked great. I had 3 that were messed up and 4 were good. Didn't mess with the factory studs, but I was just gonna kind of show y'all. I just got done drilling this one out, and I'm about to tap it to install a helicoil. A lot of y'all know what a helicoil is and how to use it, and some of y'all don't. So I just figured I'd throw this in this video. And as you can see, I got my combustion chambers cleaned up, valves cleaned up. We're almost ready to go. So let me show y'all how this works. If I can get everything set up where I can do this. You know what? Hold on, let me put on my holder. Alright, I hope y'all can see this pretty well. Anyways, you got your tap and your handle. You get it, and you just want to start slow, and you want to make sure you stay nice and parallel or straight with the hole. You don't want to tap it at a weird angle. So you want to make sure that you're straight this way, and you want to make sure you're straight this way. And start slow. Look at it from a couple different angles to make sure that you're staying straight. Drifting off just a little there. Let me see if I'm staying straight. This other way, I need to come down just a little. You just work your tap in there, slowly making threads. Looks like I'm still pretty straight that way. Pretty dang straight that other way. So I should be perfectly aligned with the hole. Because if you get it all cockeyed, tap the hole cockeyed. I mean, you can drill the hole straight and tap it cockeyed, and your bolt's going to go in cockeyed. It's going to be a pain in the butt to get the bolt in and out, or stud, however you're doing it. And you just go until it gets really hard to, like, it'll kind of stop. You can go too far and strip it again, then you're really screwed. But I mean, you can kind of tell when it gets real hard to turn and you're bottomed out in the hole and done. Like, it's not going to be super easy to thread this in there, but and then sometimes you get chunks caught when you're backing up, and it's tough to back up, but yeah, it's still going. I still got a little hole left because it's going pretty easy. I mean, it's not easy, but it's not super hard. It's not hard, or it's hard, but it's not stupid hard. And you can go a little ways and back it out, clean your tap, see where you're at in your hole, if you're all the way in or what the deal is. Because if you got to go back in and do some more, you just, follow the threads you've already cut. Helicoils are awesome. Let me see if I can see down in there. No, I still got a little ways to go. They're great thread repair solutions, and they hold damn well. You know what, I should probably blow that out with some air. Helicoils hold damn good. They are strong. I'm gonna grab my air hose. Okay, and we're back. I just blew it out with the air. I'm gonna get it started again. Line it up with the threads I've already cut. Keep going here, because I got maybe about 1/8 of an inch of this hole left to cut threads into, and then I'll install the helicoil and kind of show you how that's done. We'll get this hole repaired. Well, it might be there because it's super hard now. So maybe I didn't have as far to go as I thought, but I hope this turns out good. I can't really see this while I'm recording it, or I can't see it through the camera, so let's hope it turns out. Let me look down this hole. Yeah, I pretty much got all that threaded. So you take your air hose, blow it out. Make sure there's no chunks and filings and crap in there. Looks pretty clean. You get your helicoil and put it on your insert tool. Let me take this tap out. I think that was it. Oh, it actually went smaller than it needed to. There we go. Alright, now this is your helicoil. It's got this little tang on the end that lines up on your install tool so you can actually thread it in there. So you get it set on there, take you a little Loctite, put it on the threads, just so it stays in there where you put it. Then you take your install tool, kind of get started slow because you got to line it up with the threads you just cut. Because once you start going in, it ain't coming out. You're not unthreading it out of there. You kind of got to get it right the first time, and if you don't, well, you just go and hope it finds its way. And you thread the helicoil in there. You want the last coil of the helicoil to be inside a little ways. You don't want it sticking out. You don't necessarily want to bottom the helicoil out, because you want your bolt to grab, you know, the majority of your helicoiled threads. And bam, repaired the hole. Take a little screwdriver, break that tang off, take your air, blow it out. Done. Alright, I don't know if this is going to record worth of crap, but got my little screwdriver. Gonna stick it in there. Just like that, broke it. Now I get my air again, blow that tang out of there, and then I can install my stud. I think I got it out. Felt something hit me. Yeah, I don't see nothing down in that hole. So, should be good. Grab my stud here. Thread that dude in there. Now you can Loctite your studs or not. It's up to you. And it's up to the Loctite that you're using. I know that red Loctite's kind of a pain in the ass to get your studs and bolts out, and the green is almost impossible. I'm choosing not to Loctite my studs. I'll just get them tight and should be good to go. Now these studs were a little long. They worked great for the holes that I helicoiled. Oh yeah, that dude's tight. For the holes I didn't helicoil, I just cut off a little bit, like maybe 1/8 of an inch off the stud, and then threaded it in. Came out great. So this is the head thus far after lapping the valves, installing them, springs, putting my studs in, fixing 3 of the holes, bolt holes, stud holes, whatever you want to call it. And now I'm going to find my dowels that the head sits on, and we're going to bolt this thing down to the block and clay it. And I don't know if I'll get there tonight or not, but that doesn't matter. It'll get recorded and I'll show y'all that. Alright, so this part's not hard. You get you some clay, Play-Doh, whatever you want to use, whatever's cheap, whatever's easy. Break you off some chunks. So you break you off some chunks, and then you're going to install the head like normal, like you always would. And I'm going to get the head installed. I don't know if I'm just going to use my bolts for now or if I'm going to go dig out my studs, but anyways, I'll get the head installed and then show you all that part. Alright, let me kind of explain to y'all what I did, because I've done a few things without filming so far. So I put my head bolts in, right, tighten them down, hand tight. I prefer to do mine just a hair more instead of just threading them in there with your fingers. I actually get an Allen and just kind of tighten it, like not tighten it or torque it or anything, but just really snug. So I did that. I couldn't find my head bolts, so I just went with my studs. Said screw it, it'll be good enough. That's what I'm going to use anyways. Got my cam gears put on my cams, dug my cams out, clean those off, all that stuff. To clay your Vtec, you have to lock in your Vtec lobe. So you've got to take the rail out that holds your rockers in there, slide it out. You're going to swap 2 pins. There's a long pin in this one and a short pin in this one. You're gonna put the long pin in here and then the short pin that came out of here into that one, and that should lock them all together. Then you slide it back in. Just for the claying purposes, you don't have to put all your rockers back in because we're only claying number one anyways. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm going to go get my cam caps, put those on after I apply some assembly lube to these cam journals, and get my cam caps, put them on, torque them down, put the timing belt on, time it, and then I'm going to turn it over by hand, or with a wrench anyways. And we just want to make the valves indent the clay, and then we're going to take it all back apart and see what the clay looks like, see how much the valves smash the clay down. And yeah, I'll record that much of it once I get to that point. Alright, so I'm not sure exactly where I left off in the last video. I think I was talking about what you have to do to clay the piston to valve clearance. And so now I had gotten the timing belt all on here, got it all timed. I spun it around a few times, make sure that the valve pushed down good into the clay that's sitting on top of our piston. So now I'm about to take it all apart, and we're gonna look and see how that's done. So, you know, it's just like taking your head back off, same procedure. Take your timing belt off, and then take your cams out, and, you know, undo your head bolts, and that's where we'll be. Pretty standard thing. I'm pretty sure everybody, or almost everybody, knows how to do this, and if not, there's probably hundreds of videos on how to take the head off your B series. So yeah, I'll just resume recording once I get the head ready to come off and we look at the clay. Alright, so here's what we got. Got the head off. Let me make mention of this before I forget again, because I've thought about it and then forgot several times. This head gasket's an old head gasket. It's already been crushed. Now it's been crushed multiple times. So just wanted y'all to know that. Use an old head gasket for this. Makes it a little easier. You ain't got to worry about messing up your new head gasket. There was something else I was going to tell y'all. Oh, make sure your valves, when doing this, is set to a 0 lash or a 1,000th lash. Anyways, here's what we got. Barely even touched this piece of clay. Didn't touch any of these pieces. This one was still stuck to the bottom of the valve. And in measuring from this surface to the top of the clay here was 7.5 millimeters. So yeah, now to the world, or anybody that watches this video anyways, you're gonna know that the CTR pistons on LS rods and LS crank and a this one's actually a B16A block, but B16A or B, which is a LS block, and with a B16A2 head, you've got plenty of piston to valve clearance. That's with everything set to 0. Cam gears aren't adjusted, they're at 0. You know, TDC, everything's timed OEM factory regular. So this is what you end up with. So yeah, let's see, next portion we'll do a degreeing of the cams, and we'll let y'all know what all's going on with that, see what footage I can get of that, and yeah, post that for y'all. So thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Really give me those likes. That helps me out a lot. And thanks.